Hello kids, welcome back to another episode of Bible Stories.
Welcome.
We welcome you guys. We hope you had a marvelous week. So today we're going to speak about Daniel. We're going to talk about his stories and we hope that you get something good out of it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So a long time ago lived a man named Daniel who lived in a city in Babylon. Now, Daniel loved and trusted God above everything else, every single thing else in this world. Every morning, he'll wake up, kneel before his window, and pray to God. Every morning, without a single day, he done this every morning. Now, God loved and favored Daniel very highly. He blessed him with wisdom. He made him very, very likable. He blessed him with the gift of wisdom, cleverness, and blessed him with the ability to interpret dreams. Someone else in the Bible had the same ability. Can you guess who?
Samuel.
Well done. I was thinking Joseph, but Alright, now, because of these three abilities, these three blessings God gave Daniel, Daniel was very highly favored by the King Darius of Babylon. Now, these two became very close friends. They got along very well. Oh, best friend, that's my best friend. Go, best friend, that's my best friend. Now, after the king who had all the power over Babylon, the King Darius gave Daniel, his best friend, second in command of the whole kingdom, allowing him to lead the people, take care of any problems, and just make Babylon a great city.
However, there were people that because of King Darius's and Daniel's friendship, they were jealous of their relationship. So then they didn't like Daniel and wanted to get rid of him. So what they did, they got together and said to themselves,
Hey, listen, yeah? You see that Daniel boy, yeah? I don't like him, bruv. You gotta get rid of him, you know? He's doing way too much, fam. He's making us way too much, eh? He's making us look bad, fam. I can't look bad. We need to find something to use against my man, fam. What are you telling?
So they decided to come up with this horrible law that would be against Daniel. So, do you remember what Daniel would do every morning while waking up? Should we take it again? So, he would wake up, go to his window, kneel down, and pray, right? So, this was pleasing to God, and this is what Daniel thought was the right thing to do to worship God. However, these enemies didn't like that. So they decided to come up with this law. They went to King Darius and they said, King Darius, you're amazing. We should all be worshipping you and not God. Who is God, right? So King Darius loved the fact that everybody would worship him, and so he decided to come up with this law that would only mean that people would worship him only, including Daniel. However, because Daniel was so dedicated to God and he loved God, he decided to not follow this rule because he made God the center of his life.
Number one.
Daniel knew that God loved him and he would always protect him no matter what. So every morning he continued with his routine. He would wake up, go to his window, kneel down and pray, because he really loved God and he wanted to always make God happy no matter what.
When the bad guys saw that Daniel was still praying to God every day, they went to King Darius and said to him, Hey yo, king! Didn't you make a rule that no one else can pray to any other god apart from you? And the king said,
I did. Who disobeyed my law? I will have them thrown in the cave of lions straight away.
He said to the king, I ain't gonna lie, you know, it's your boy, it's skilled. You know, your man Daniel is disobeying your laws, king. What are you gonna do? Listen, if it was me, I wouldn't have it, but obviously you're not me. What are you saying though, king?
So, The king, very sadly, because he was best friends with Daniel, right? So, as you have a best friend and you'd be very sad to have been disappointed by them, the king ordered to have Daniel thrown into the cave of lions immediately.
So, when Daniel entered the cave of lions, he was surrounded by a pack of deadly, hungry, very hungry lions.
These lions roared. They roared.
Roar!
No. They roared. And then they growled. They growled. They growled. However, guys, there's a story plot. Remember how Daniel would wake up every morning and pray and love God and ask for his protection? Well, God came through and protected Daniel in that specific moment. And guess what? The lions and Daniel became best friends, and Daniel ended up petting the lions all night.
Oh, that's fun. I want to play with the lions. The next morning, King Darius got out of his bed early morning, ran down to the cave, shouted, Daniel, are you still there? He ordered his men to quickly roll away the big stone that was covering the entrance of the cage. And when they rolled over, there he stood, Daniel, in all the glory of God. Not a single scratch on him. He was perfectly fine and okay. The king was immediately happy, grabbed him, hugged him, and took him out the cage.
The enemies of Daniel and the people that ordered the king to introduce a new law were standing there as well. And they witnessed how Daniel was looking fresh without a scratch.
Fresh trim!
Right? Fresh hair! He was standing there, surviving an entire night with lions without a single scratch. So then the king decided to throw these people into the cave, and guess what? The lions ate them all.
Just
Right? Just like how you snap a piece of chicken into two. That's what the lions did to the enemies of Daniel. Right?
Calcium.
Yeah. So, from this moment onwards, King Darius realized how great God is, and he decided to swap his law for a new law that everyone would worship God and love God moving forward.
The God of Daniel.
The God
always
of
comes
Daniel.
through. Alright, that was a good story. What did you learn today?
I've learned that praying every day and asking for God's protection and His love, He will actually protect you anywhere you go, even in the lion's den.
That's very true. And for me, I would say, just remember to always stay true to God, follow God in everything you do, and regardless of what law, what people, enemies are against you, He will always come through for you. Alright guys, so that'll be it from us. Have a good day. We hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.